process is not appropriate, something you feel uncomfortable. And that uncomfortable will give on guidelines to you to improve yourself or your self-criticize ourselves. Do that. They will not do that. They will appreciate. They will accept as it is, and they try to improve themselves. So I hope I given that clarity about that topic. And now I move on to that very important component of self-compassion is dimensions. Dimension means we can say composition of something. For example, you can able to see in my hand, you can see my smartphone. So what are the components are in the smartphone? You can see a display, a button, and camera, front camera, back camera, and then finger. These in that the main objectives of your faculty development. And can you please name some of the negative self-talk in the chat box? In the comments in the chat box, you can just mention one or two. What are the negative comments you will make about yourself? Maybe anything. Yes. Yeah. Can you please just enter that? What are the? I will start from my side. It will be anger, self-pity. Yes. What are the self-talk we frequently, sometimes we may done to ourselves? Participants I hear, learn professors. I can't do these things. Yes. Yes. Lovely input, sir. Not good looking. I'm not good in that work. Yes. Not giving credit to that the good work we have done in the recently. Yes. Lovely, lovely. What are the negative self-talk we will make in our day-to-day life? Or recently, if you may say that I never do negative self-talk, I think including me, and we all made our negative self-talk, and once in on different occasions, approval of others. Definitely, we are seeking approval of others. We are working for, I think, seeking appreciation and other things. Replacing our negative self-talk into positive self-talk. We have to. We may hear our inner voice. Ask yourself and your mind. They are saying that cognitive restructuring. What they are saying that in day-to-day life, what are the words we are speaking? And instead of negative words, you can replace into positive words. Okay, that is the best example for that. And we can come to that NLP. NLP, what the linguistic, what they are using. The words we can see certain community cannot find out more negative words. In certain culture itself, that means they are focusing only on the positive side. And if there is no positive, self-kindness, one thing. And be kind to ourselves. When your body is saying that you need to take a rest, take rest. Listen to your inner, your body will say that. We have to listen and be kind to ourselves. There are many times when you see someone is suffering and we are very kind towards them. And someone saying that, can you please give me 10 rupees? I want to take, I never had a food for last 2 days. And we are sympathetic and will give the money. But at the same time, most of the, I can say like professors, those who are attending here, when you are involving in the work, most of the time you never think about your health. You think about that work which is assigned to you, want to complete the work on time. We running towards that. Because of that, we are not giving importance to ourselves. And the first component of we human beings are different from animals. Even though we belong to the category of animals, we can say that social animals. When you look at any kind of disasters, even Chennai flood or Gujarat earthquake and any other disaster, we can find out other parts of the country and other parts of the world, they are come forward, they are lending their hand for helping the people. This is important quality, and this quality, when you do others, we will do for ourselves. And this, it is an universal experience we can see. That is the second component of self-compassion. We will move on to the third one. And here is a very important, that the thing what you are undergoing that program is mindfulness. Sir, I would like to hear from you all. Anyone, please unmute yourself. What do you mean by mindfulness? Can anyone please? Rather, is it multitasking comes under mindfulness?
So multitasking deviates our focus.
Okay.
And it also
organs are there within us. Okay, eyes, ear, nose, tongue, and then skin. And when we look at these, when we do any activity, have you ever noticed that We are focusing all these 5 sense organs for the particular activity. If you do that, that is called mindfulness. That is called mindfulness. And when we take up, there is one more study saying that most of our learning, including for normal person, our learning 87% happened through our observation, eyes, 87%, and 11% through our ears, and remaining 2% from mindfulness. When we, that's why to avoid distraction, like for meditation, if you take any practice, they will say that close your eyes. The first thing they will say, close your eyes and observe. For example, recently there is a popular mindfulness breathing exercises are very popular among the students. They found that mindfulness breathing gives more energy and more concentration. ADHD, attention deficit, very common among the students. And if they practice mindfulness breathing, just close their eyes and they have to watch the breathing. Just watch and cut down that other stimulus they are receiving from that environment. And here in self-compassion, that is for understanding mindfulness. Here in mindfulness, what I mean, I think we giving all sense organs to that understand to which one we have to focus. Okay, and here in self-compassion, we have to focus on, most of us, we are focusing on negative component. Instead of that, we have to focus on the positive emotions. Focusing on that, what we put for us and how we can replace that negative into positive. So that action we have to do that. This is the third component of self-compassion. I hope I given that components of. If you same question, if you ask me 3 years before, I will say that no. Why we are not practicing these kind of good thing? There are 2 reasons. One is we are not aware about the benefit out of practicing that particular thing. When we know that when you ask them why you have to do that, what is the benefit out of it? Almost all the human beings we are. If I do, what is the benefit? And when we are aware about it, when you self-compassion, what are the benefit we will get it, definitely we will look into that. And I can say that one of the important awareness program initiated by the government of India, one is on that Mukesh. When you go to any movie, there is an case documentary will be there. He will say that I used the tobacco product, now I am cancer, and he's no more that the ad. You can see in most of the before screening that movie, you can see that ad. And that awareness matter. There are many people quit that use of the tobacco. And here, when we aware about that benefit out of self-compassion, and many people, they will come forward and then they will practice it. And if the person who is not doing self-compassion practice in their day-to-day life, it is because they are not aware about that benefit out of. Now we'll move on to that. What are the benefits? And usually, when you look at that, most of the presentation, what are the benefits? When we know that, and we will find out what are the way we can practice it. Okay, first one. And I think it will motivate our as well as external. And this self-compassion will say that it motivates you with any kind of activities if you take enough, even it is for intrinsic as well as extrinsic. That is the first benefit out of it. And next one is regarding every one of us, human, including me and all the people are surrounding here, are attending here. We are longing for happiness. And you can see there are statistics saying that many people are dependent on drugs and alcohol. That means all human beings are running toward finding that happiness. And some people, they believe that they can get the happiness by earning money. Some people, they believe that they're getting happiness through experiences. But studies were proven that earning money will give that momentum happiness. But when you, and if you are not having that practice, you can do at least once in a month, you can go along with your family members in similar nearby places. And self-compassion, it is one of the practice that it will boost our happiness. When you love yourself, the studies were proven that the happiness of an individual increases. When you are happy, it isn't contagious. When you see someone is yawning, and we also do the same thing. Okay, it isn't contagious. Likewise, when you see someone is happy in your family members, and you can look at that family members in the community. And some of the family members are always happy, because if one person is happy, that it isn't contagious, all the members will be happy. But when you look at that in a family, you can see there is no happiness in the family. That means no one is happy, because they are not practicing it. So that is the second benefit of practicing. And third one is about we are having that poor body image and self-image. And self-compassionate people, they never complain or criticize about that body structure, that complex and what they are possessing. what they are having. They never blame. No, if I be 1 feet height, I will be good. If I'm a fair, I will be good. That you cannot find these things in a self-compassionate person. They accept it. Okay, this structure, these complexes, I received from the God. It's given to me. I'm the unique person. They love it, and their body is the true one. And next one, period of pandemic crisis, COVID-19. People are more self-compassionate. People are more resilient. That means we can be able to cope up that problem, maybe economic problem or social problem or any kind of problem. These people, self-compassionate people, are more resilient. Resilience is nothing but bouncing back to the normal. We are saying that new normal. And you can see if you are more resilient, and that means you are a more self-compassionate person. You love yourself as well as your family members and other members. That's why you are more resilient. If you don't do that, you will not be resilient. You will be fed up, and then you will not come back from that normal, set back to the normal. And a few more studies also found that when you have that self-compassionate, some people have anxiety. Anxiety is a common problem we can see in most of the youngsters. And self-compassion, and I think India, the quote given by WHO, World Health Organization, I would like to say here, I think we are very leading in this component. They said that the most depressed country in the world is India. They given in that, you can go to the website itself, they given the statement is that the most depressed country. And especially these COVID-19 crisis, and almost that socioeconomic status, major chunk of Indian population comes under middle class and lower middle class and socially poor. And these populations are having more depression due to many factors. And here there are studies that proven that we want to come out from the depression. I think the many suicide and other self-harming practices are happening. It is because a person who is taking alcohol or a drug, it is because they are depressed. They want to come out from that, but it is a negative strategy, I can say. But there is instead of that, there is a positive strategy we can adapt that is called self-compassion. When we practice self-compassion, we can easily get rid of depression, and then we can change that practice. They given that statistics by WHO. No, India is not the most depressed country in the world. We are not loving ourselves. That is the only reason I can say. And it also reduces stress. And everyone, even the kids, 1 or 2 years, they are stressed. And this kind of quote we are hearing from, irrespective of age group, they are saying that stress. Self-compassionate people, they know that how to manage stress. They will not give focus on that. And we can see they are not giving importance to that illness, disorder, and deficiency. Now there is a switch over to that wellness and well-being and happiness. And this self-compassion is focused on those components: well-being, wellness, and then happiness. And you can take any around 20%. And remaining 80% are normal people. And we need to provide a strategy that will help them to improve their well-being and wellness and happiness. And that one of the practices is self-compassion. And this self-compassion is giving importance to our health, our body, our mind, and our emotions. And these things we can achieve through the practice of yoga and meditation. And it also increases our self-confidence. And wherever we go, when you love yourself, and you will say that, yes, I can do that. You can see, and on another, they may make a quality of life. So now we know that, so these are the common perspectives of findings. The benefit out of getting one of the things I said, you can say the same thing. Because the people who are near to you, we will approach them, the friend and the other members, they may not aware about, they will say strategy, we will adapt it. Self-compassion is a strongly predictive students. And shame feeling, and they can come and minimize the number of cases, those who are seeking for suicide. And I can say the second leading death in India, when you just Google it, in India, if we take the number of deaths, he said that, for example, in the morning, if you start with that yoga or meditation practices, when you had a positive, when you see that in the beginning, you may also experience, even I do experience many of the time, in the morning, if I negative experience for that, emotion, and it's totally different. And here we have to understand that the self-esteem is we are seeking a recognition. And some of them we are confusing with self-esteem with self-compassion. Self-esteem, you are getting the recognition. Yes, I am. The ego, I can say, compassion is not about it, and it care about ourselves. What we have done, it will appreciate what we have done. And third finding is that what time we will face in our, for example, in a relationship. It may be with our husband and wife, or it may be parents and children, it may be between the co-workers or student and teachers. And these hard time we will face. And these people self-compassionate time are very conflict access. And healthier behavior, I think we all know that the adolescents and youth and some of the behavior we can say deviant behavior. And health, the society agree with that, okay, these behaviors are appropriate. We need to, because they know that what is appropriate behavior we have to express. And they will not hold a healthy behavior in front of there are good and bad behaviors are there, good words and bad words are there. And when you select a positive one, that is a healthy behavior. And they found that self-compassionate people, if you love ourselves, we love others also. That is the thing. When you love ourselves, you love others without any discrimination. And more interpersonal relationship will be common among the people who are practicing self-compassion. And they are less selfish in nature. And if we are less selfish in nature, our relationship automatically will be boosted. And the partner, it means the partner between one and others, we will never control, we will not take over advantage of others. And so these were the research findings. The previous 6 points were I taken from the research findings of different researchers, and I quoted, and the reference I given at the end. And now you all agree with that. What are the benefit out of merely practicing the simple word we may not aware about earlier, and now when we do that practices, and we will have many benefit out of it. And now move on to that. And in front of us, including me, I was attended few more training program and sessions. They will say that what are the different types and what are the benefit out of it. And when it comes to the point of how to improve your self-compassion, they are crying or they are suffering. What we will do? We will go and console them. Don't worry. The problem will not be long-lasting. One day you will have the skill to overcome the problem. You will give very kind to other people who are suffering. But when you look at that, whether we are doing it for ourselves when we are suffering, are you saying to yourself, don't worry, this is a short period of time, rejection will be there. The problem you are facing is only for a short period of time, you will overcome it. Have you ever told we are talking to this kind of work to us? When someone in our family member or friend having the problem, we will go to them and say them, don't worry. We console them, we are very kind to them. Whether we are kind to ourselves, and these unconsciously we have to change ourselves. When we suffer, we have to talk to ourselves. If you are not taking care of yourself, and who else will do that? And that is only the first practice we have to change. And many of us, we never given focus on to that. And this is one of the first practice. What we say to others, the same thing we have to say to ourselves. What are the advice we can give? And the common notion is that when it is because